I am tired of evil people attacking and scapegoating our community. I am tired of the fucking morons who consider baseless hatred equal to reason, evidence, and fact.
These people just ignore logic and facts and science, and in this case, it is literally you doing that. It is literally you doing that. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Normal Gays React video. I'm Brad Polumbo here with TikTok extraordinaire Clarkson Lawson. Clarkson, any trips to Puerto Rico on the horizon?
No, but I heard that if you move there, it's really good for taxes. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, I'd have to look into it more, but I don't know, maybe soon.
I love Puerto Rico. I went there not too long ago. It's a beautiful place, has lots of problems. But anyway, one thing they just did that's very controversial is that they just signed into law a ban on gender transition that's not just for kids. It goes up to age 21. Here is one transgender TikToker's take on that. Spoiler alert, this person is not happy.
Puerto Rico just criminalized HRT for people under 21. In other words, the government of Puerto Rico just decided trans people deserve to suffer, and they killed a significant number of trans kids and young trans adults. I am tired of the cruelty. I am tired of evil people attacking and scapegoating our community. I am tired of the fucking morons who consider baseless hatred equal to reason, evidence, and fact. I am tired of people who consider dead children to be an acceptable alternative to being the slightest bit introspective. I am tired of people who revel in suffering and death. I am tired, and I'm fucking pissed, and you should be pissed too, because the world does not have to be this way. The world can be better.
Well, her seems stable.
Yeah, the dead children thing really pisses me off. God, it's such a bad argument, and it's really the reason why nobody believes anything they say.
It's not based on evidence. There is no evidence, to be clear. The ACLU lawyer even admitted this before the Supreme Court. There is no evidence that transition treatments for children reduce suicide. That is a myth. There's not evidence supporting it. Comprehensive reviews of the literature have found that you really can't even assert with evidence that these treatments, puberty blockers or hormone therapies, improve mental health at all. You certainly cannot assert that they reduce suicides, yet they do so over and over again. It is emotional guilt trip propaganda meant to to force us, to emotionally blackmail us. I will not fall for that.
It's really sick, and I don't think this creator is even aware of that, but what I find disturbing is the nonprofits that have pushed this lie and the doctors who have pushed this lie, because they are smart enough to know that it's not true. And it's really gross, especially to the parents of kids who have gone through these treatments, who were told, hey, if you don't do this, your kid's going to kill themselves. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but that is like,
say whatever you want. And
I mean, it's sick. It's sick shit. And I don't know. I mean, this TikToker is just regurgitating what they see, but
it is interesting to me that the TikToker presents this as these people just ignore logic and facts and science. And in this case, it is literally you doing that. It is literally you doing that.
Yeah.
Now, I do actually have extremely mixed feelings about this Puerto Rico law. Up to 18, restriction, complete support. What are your thoughts on the 18 to 21-year-olds being blocked from doing it?
I mean, personally, I think if you're an adult, you're an adult. You should be able to smoke a cigarette, have a beer. If you can die for your country, you should be able to do all of those things. You should have autonomy over your body. You should be able to make those decisions. So I don't necessarily agree because we've set 18 as the standard of being an adult. What I will say, though, is that when it comes to, the brain being developed, the only thing that would logically make sense, which I don't think is a strong enough argument to ban it for adults, would be until 25. But I wouldn't support that because we have decided adults are 18 years old.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it because on the one hand, I have heard a lot of stories of people who were 19 when they did it or who were 18 when they did it and have serious regrets and what have you. And your brain is not fully developed at 18 or 19 to make life-altering permanent decisions. Ultimately, though, I do believe adults should be able to access this stuff legally. It's their bodies, it's their lives, they are legal adults. Maybe doctors should have more caution if somebody's just turned 18 about doing it right away, rather when they're still so young and they're impressionable. And I also think there's a conversation to be had about whether the legal age of adulthood should be raised to 21 because of what we know about brain development,
Yeah.
because of the fact that like the drinking age and other things are still at 21 in many places. We have this kind of incoherent hodgepodge of laws and rules and ways in which, in some ways, you're an adult at 18, but in some ways, you're not really an adult till you're 21 or 20 or 19. It's like, I'm open to that conversation, but as long as the age of adulthood is 18, I don't support laws like this that ban adults legally from doing what they want with their bodies.
Agreed. Totally agreed. It's a reaction. That's what it is. And I think that the incessant need for validation when it comes to the gender ideology that they all are obsessed with is exactly why many people are becoming reactionary. And it, you know, up until 18 was a very logical thing to go through with. But now I think people are seeing that when you give an inch, they take a mile, unfortunately. And I hate making the slippery slope argument for a lot of these things. But, you know, they believe that when you give this specific community an inch, they take a mile. So now they're reacting to it. And I don't think that necessarily makes it right, but it does kind of justify why they're making the age go higher than 18.
Yeah, it's definitely part of this pendulum swing that we've seen where they pushed trans activists in particular, pushed into such unreasonable territory in so many ways, but especially when it comes to transitioning minors, that now it's like, oh, we're going to go all the way to the opposite extreme. There was an attempt, I do believe it was ultimately stripped out of the big beautiful bill, but to like prohibit Medicaid for being used for these treatments, even for adults. And that would have made it financially difficult for a lot of people to access it. And you can debate that on its merits, but it's like we are so far moving in the opposite direction about all of this stuff. Whereas if they had been more reasonable at the beginning and more quick to compromise on 18, maybe we wouldn't be here. But we are here. And I blame a lot of the activists. The hysteria and the alarmism does not help. Like this person screeching about dead children just makes you instantly dismiss them and their arguments because it has no basis in truth. Whereas if this person was arguing on camera, like, listen, these people are adults. Let them do what they want. Like, this is wrong. Why are we legislating adults' bodies and micromanaging their life choices? I actually think a lot of Americans might resonate with that. We're a very freedom-oriented, individual-oriented people. But when you lead with the hysteria and the doomsday and the alarmism, normal people tune you out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly it. And I think you hit the nail on the head when it comes to a lot of these arguments. If you just base your argument in individual liberty, people will buy into it. Nobody wants to be told what to do, especially in America. That's like inherent to our culture. So, you know, I think they're in a bit of a PR crisis now, and maybe they should go back and rewrite the messaging when it comes to a lot of these issues.
What do you guys think? Do you support Puerto Rico's new law? Do you think it should be 21, 25, 18, or even through all of adulthood? Let us know in your comments. Let us know in the comments, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet, and check out Clarkson's channel, subscribe over there as well, linked in the description. And guys, we'll be back with more normal gays content real soon.